So one of the things that costs people mind when they buy a used engine, or what we call Tokumbo engine, when they buy these Peugeot used engines and want to swap in their vehicles, probably to replace a failed old engine in their Peugeot vehicle, and they hardly ever bothered about the condition of the timing belt, or to even to give it a thought. Talking about the ones that comes with or the engines that have timing belts or uses timing belt instead of chain. So they don't even put it along the list of things to be done while changing the engine. Most times when I bring it up to some people, to them they'll be like, but I just got the engine. So in other words, they consider this used engine as if they are brand new engines, or they will look like, but the engine is sound, why bother with the bells in them? In other words, if this engine is as sound as this, it means the bells too will also be good. So there are so many reasons people you use to justify not changing this timing belt. So my advice is, please, when you buy a Peugeot engine, a used one that you want to mount, be it Nigerian use or foreign use or Tokumbo, before you mount that engine, if that engine uses a timing belt, buy another new belt, original new belt, be it OEM or quality new aftermarket. Remove it on the ground when the engine is still on the ground. Change the belts. Forget about what the one that on the engine looks like. You might open the timing cover only to find out that the one that is still on the engine you just purchased looks like the previous owner just changed it yesterday, or the engine might look as if it was just used for 50 kilometers before the engine was shipped to Nigeria to be sold. It doesn't matter. Change it. Just get a quality new one, be it OEM, aftermarket, as far as I say, as long as it's a quality brand or quality product. Change it while the engine is still on the ground. This is what I do for all the people, but as in I've done it for everyone I've changed their engines for, or the engine for. And even going forward, or in future, that's what I do. I put it as a condition. If you want me to change your engine for you or handle the replacement, the timing belt must be replaced. So if you are considering the cost of buying the engine, you are also adding the cost of buying the timing belt. So the timing belt must be replaced when the engine is still on the ground before we mount it on the vehicle or swap it into the vehicle. Now you might be thinking, but what if you put the engine and now realize the engine is not good enough? That means you will return the engine to collect another one or get refunded. Not a problem. You bring out the engine, you remove the belt, the new belt, and put back the old one. So now there are cases where, for example, if the old engine or the dead engine belt is still within what's it called, normal recommended usage. Let's assume you changed it a year ago, or it hasn't covered up to 40 or 60,000 kilometers, depending on the engine model and the recommendation. That is still within recommended interval. Then you can swap it. The only time you won't bother to do the swap is, let's assume the old belt on the old engine, oil has already touched that belt. There's no point. that has already been contaminated. So it's very risky to put it on the new engine or newly purchased one. So yeah, what I mean, you can swap if the one in your old engine or the one you are removing was recently replaced and or is still good, it hasn't covered the mileage that is supposed to be removed or changed, or the year is supposed to be used. Yeah, remove it, swap it, put it. That's what I do. But if it has already exceeded the recommended interval, or it has been contaminated, or the owner might say, there's no even point. Even if still you just buy new, you know, any of these conditions can work. But to say you want to use the old one the engine came with, the one you purchased, that the current one, that engine, you are likely or may end up losing that engine you just purchased. Forget about what the timing belt looks like. You know, the recommendation says every this and that mileage, remove it. Every use it for this particular so and so year in this environment, remove it. Most of the belt that cut, timing belt that cut, when you see that there's actually most times they still look new. But because they've served their purpose, they've exceeded the mileage is supposed to be used, or maybe there's a component in that timing chamber that was weak, so it will now affect the timing belt. So as you are doing that swap, you check all the timing keys. Of course, the ideal thing is buy the complete new kit, but then I'm also being considerate, knowing that okay, you are testing, you got this engine, you may not have enough fun, So while removing the belt, we might now look at the every other timing belt components or the components like the idler, that's the roller, or the tensioner, water pump, stuff like this that the timing belt works with. We look at all those things. Those ones you can actually tell how good they are, unlike the belt. There are some that once you see, you say, okay, no, you touch it, feel it, spin it, this can still serve you for more thousands of kilometers or years, But of course, if the person have the money, change everything. So use the opportunity to check everything before you put it back. Don't assume, no point changing it, because like I said, few kilometers down the line, few days or weeks down the line, it could cut and damage that same engine. That money you are trying to prevent spending, you end up spending spending much. So I will advise you, change it. And and also want to use this opportunity, don't ever buy a used timing belt. Avoid it. I will never recommend it. Avoid it. I know there's a risk involved in buying fake new belts. Yes, I understand that, but that's also your responsibility to find out genuine one. So I mean, we are buying used timing belts. Look at it logically. Something that probably the manufacturer said remove every so and so year, and probably has expired or something. So you go and buy what's it called, timing bulb, and put in your engine. Maybe the one in the engine failed, damage your engine, and you fix your engine, rebuild it, change whatever that was damaged, and you're buying another used one that is likely going to fail the next day. I mean, come on, doesn't make sense. Look for that money, pack your car if you have to, save up, get the money, get the genuine new one, put and have peace of mind. You are better off like that. Don't buy used ones. It doesn't. It's. I mean, it's something I will never recommend, no matter what. So be very careful. It's not, the belt will not just cut, and that's all. It will cut and damage some other things in the engine. So Be very careful. The cost of replacing engines these days, they are not laughable. These are the engines now are quite expensive. Used ones, not even brand new. So save yourself, get that original timing belt. Of course, timing auxiliary belt too involved, but just focusing on the timing for now. So likewise, if you are changing your engine, also do the same with the auxiliary belt. Unless the old one on the old engine is still new, or you just got it, it hasn't even served up to the mileage that is supposed to be changed. Yeah, you can do the swap. Likewise, the auxiliary belt components as well. So these are the things. So don't buy used timing belt. Avoid um, buying engine, use engine without changing the timing belt to and start using. Very risky. I don't recommend it, and you may not like the outcome. Um, there's this.